So here we are, punters, for our final episode of 2021. Mick, can you believe it?
I can, mate. Couldn't come quick enough. Nah, joking. It's been great. It's been fantastic. And, mate, I think you've done a great job, mate. Well done.
Thanks,
steering the ship.
I don't know what ship I'm steering. But, hey, look, we're back in the studio, out of lockdown, of course, and been itching to get back in the studio. Your old mate over there has been absolutely pining for you, Mick, apparently.
Yeah, old mahogany, a bit lonely.
It's all been happening. But, hey, look, punters, if you think that racing is over, then think again, or the big racing anyhow, because this weekend, of course, we've got the Group 2 Villiers at Randwick, and we've got, the biggest race meeting you can think of at Hong Kong, obviously Sha Tin there.
Yeah.
4 Group 1 races, and certainly got something special on the show to talk about that soon.
Mate, without a doubt. Why don't we let them know?
Yeah, let's let them know. So this week we are going to look at the top 5 in November, of course, tipsters of the month, with all the media tipsters on the side and lots of pro punters and punters. Why not? Let's look at who really is the top 5 in November. But what we're also going to do, Mick, is we're going to look at the race for tipster of the year. So we're getting down to the end, and look, there's some intriguing things there. We're going to look at the top 5. And there's a bit of a dark horse, a bit of a story there, so hang around for that. But of course, after that, we're in readiness for the Hong Kong race meeting on Sunday. And if you're not punting in Hong Kong, you don't have to worry too much, because we've got Charene Woo, who has all the intel. And she's not only going to tell us a bit about how things run, but you tell us, Mick, what else she's going to do?
Yeah, she's going to give a bit of insight into some how the tracks will play, some all-weather and turf sort of tips, how to bet on those, and a couple of tips, a couple of winners, no doubt.
So Hong Kong tips there, and of course we'll finish off with mixed moral. Got to finish off on a winning note, of course.
It'll be winning in the
Villiers
with a leg in the air.
Villiers program there. So always a great day out there, isn't it? Villiers Day, Randwick,
absolutely.
Group 2. It's all happening.
Bit of Christmas cheer in the air.
Bit of Christmas cheer.
Couple of 4Xs.
Yeah, well, and don't forget all the tipsters that we feature in this episode you can find on the site, big racing program all around Australia, not just at Randwick. So stay around, folks, for the whole thing to make sure you get those tips and valuable information for Hong Kong. And of course, the Villiers Day tip is in there as well. It's all coming your way very soon. So, of course, Mick, November finished just a week ago.
Jeez, it's a tough month.
It was a tough month for some. But, of course, that means, with all the media tipsters on the site, every tip being recorded, and pros and punters there, hey, we've got to look at the top 5 and tell punters which cream was on the top, right? So here, let's have a look at them, Mick. Here they are, and at the top there, hey, look, I interviewed Jet Hatton a few weeks ago, actually somewhat, it was the start of spring. Called him a rising star because he was putting in some big ones. He's just got on with the job. Look at this, 76% pot of 55 tips, $6.93 average price. He's tipping winners at $17.90, $24.70, as you like it.
Aptly named, young Jet.
Yeah, Jet with a rocket. He's flying. Good guy too. Really, if you haven't seen that interview, go to our YouTube page and flick back a bit and you'll see it. Ronnie Hanks there, pro punter on the site. He starts off the month with 19 winners out of 22 tips. Well, that's just madness. I mean, $2.88 average price, so obviously in the shorter range, but still not easy to do. And then comes out and finishes it off with 73% pot. So got to be happy with that. Boarhide, I'm sure that's how you want it pronounced. Boarhide.
Sure about
that? I don't know. But hey, 55% pot. He started off the month with 11 out of 13 winners. Average price $4.42, so not all favourites in there.
So he's had a fantastic Flemington Carnival.
He's had a big one, mate. He's gone really well. And Joshy Shields, 4th winning month in a row.
Rising star.
He is Joshy is, and
good to see.
Yeah, good guy too, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, he no skylarking there on Twitter.
No, doesn't carry on. Gets the job done.
Gets the job done.
Love it.
It's the way to go, right? You've got to let the stats do the talking.
100%.
And Joshy certainly does. Nadia Horn was on our show in week 3. Comes back at the big time of the year with that. Imagine saying, hey, November, big time of the year, 52%.
Just quiet. There's something soothing about Nadia's voice. You hear her just coming over the radio.
Yeah.
Oh,
She goes
love
well.
you, Nadia.
Yeah, she goes well, Nadia. And look, busy girl too. Like she's managing lots of jockeys. I can't even start to mention because there's a whole list of them. Does a whole bunch of stuff there. So in the industry. So good on you, Nadia. Certainly knows a thing or two about form analysis. So that's November, Mick. Now, time to move on for the race for the Tipster of the Year. Of course, we do the calendar year here.
Yeah.
And so, look, the top 5. Let's have a look at them, Mick, in this race. And there's a bit of a story to go here. And so here they are. Again, no surprise to see Blackie there.
Unbelievable, mate.
Yeah.
Been flying all year. We've talked about him all year. Basically turned it into the Blackwell show. But, mate, up you go, son. Like, what do? Just keep tipping winners and you're going to stay on top.
No, he's going strong. Would have said it was his to lose because obviously there was a bit of an announcement from Brad saying he was hanging up the. What do you say for a tipster? I was going to say hanging up the boots, but whatever it is.
Hang up the form guide.
Hanging up the form guide. But then he's made a comeback. So he's actually back on it. So anything could happen here. There's about an 8% pot difference between them.
Yeah, he copped a bit of a hiding too. I think Salty came on Twitter and said, mate, you've had more comebacks than John Farnham here. What's going on? Don't mind a bit of that banter as well. That's solid. But good to see Davo back tipping, doing his stuff on Twitter as well. Obviously he does his stuff on Sky Racing. But great to see him back sharing a bit of the love to the battlers, myself included.
Yeah, so what's Brad's new nickname? Whispering Brad or something?
There you go.
There we go. No, Brad, I'm sure Brad will take it great. He's got an army of followers there and he does good stuff. I don't know too much about Trenzy. We couldn't get hold of him, but certainly we know it's a him.
Could be Tom Waterhouse with that suit.
Yeah, could be. Could be. Hey, Mitch Hamilton's no surprise. He's been, look, I don't know how many shows he's appeared on and how many times he's featured in Tipster of the Month. That's no surprise. And there he is there in 5th spot, not far behind if you look at it, 19% pot. With a couple of big Saturdays and weeks, he could certainly move up the ladder. And that's Pete McCormack, the rails bookie over there in Perth.
And he can find a long price winner, so don't be surprised if he just says, see you later, Davo, goes straight past Davo.
Absolutely.
And finishes at second. But we do have a bit of a spanner in the works. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so a bit of a spanner in the works. We're calling it a bit of the dark horse. So, of course, to qualify for Tipster of the Year, you've got to put 100 tips in, which is, look, you think about it, it's pretty fair. You've got to draw the line somewhere. So 100 tips sounds fair enough, and that's what we've always done. And so we've got someone, I'm going to keep the name aside, pretty well known.
It's not you, is it?
No, definitely not
I
me,
see you
mate.
putting up some NBA tips, mate.
Yeah, I just story behind that.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one for another day. I'll tell you over a beer on Sunday.
Okay.
This analyst who's really well known, actually on 62% pot, so wins by the length of the Flemington Straight.
Yeah.
Only problem is 13 tips off the 100. Question is, do the 13 tips get in this calendar year, this side of midnight on the 31st of December?
Yeah.
Now, rumour has it, I'm told from a special source.
Yeah.
That's a special source, not sort. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he will put those tips in. So
Okay.
anything could happen here. Anything could happen here.
Keen to see what happens there.
Yeah. So it's
Also wouldn't mind knowing who it is, just quietly.
Yeah, I've been told to keep it quiet.
Well, I reckon we'll let them know.
But,
I reckon we'll let them know at the end of the show, mate.
They can come to the site. Yeah. They can come to the site, and if they look at the 365-day leaderboard, they're probably going to get a pretty big hint very quickly.
Gotcha.
So there's a good reason to come to greattipoff.com. Here are the 6 people knocking the lights out. Look, there are other punters, pro punters, and media experts not far behind these guys either. Just showing the top 6. You can follow it on the site. Plenty of leaderboards there. Cut it up by period and whatever. But these are the ones winning the race for Tipster of the Year 2021. Okay, so of course, the big race day there at Sha Tin in Hong Kong. Look, who better to talk to, Mick? Who are we talking to, mate, about tips and tracks and stuff like that for Sunday's big meet?
Yeah, so I caught up with Charene Woo to discuss all things Hong Kong racing and to cover the 4 Group 1s coming up on Sunday. Great chat. We cover pretty much everything you need to know about betting in Hong Kong, and I've got a couple of winners for you as well.
Yeah, sounds great. And look, take us through what's on the program, Mick. I know there's 4 big Group 1s. What's ahead of punters on Sunday? I imagine Sunday, sitting there, beer in your hand, flick over to Sky Sports or your app or wherever you are. What are punters looking for? What are these big 4 Group 1s ahead of them?
Geez, mate, I might flick over and catch our mate Louis Willoughby on Sky Racing 1 on Sunday Arvo.
There we go.
Hopefully he pulls up well from Friday night. So we've got the Hong Kong Sprint. That'll be over 1,200 metres, which will be a strong race, no doubt. Hong Kong Mile, which is generally a pretty good spectacle there. Obviously, that'll be over the 1,600. You wouldn't believe it. Hong Kong Cup, and then you've got the Hong Kong Pass as well. So cracking 4
Great
races there.
Mick.
Mate, honestly, you learn something new every day.
No, it sounds cracking. Just before we let you go to chat to Charene, I mean, one thing that struck me last time you interviewed her earlier in the year is look, she has about 4 hours sleep, literally lives and breathes horse racing, Hong Kong horse racing. So you're sitting there on Sunday and you're thinking, going to have a punt. The worst you could do is have a listen to what Charene's got to say, and especially just take note of her tips. Of course, you'll put her article on thegreattipoff.com on Sunday. Look out for that. And of course, you want to go one better, you can follow all the tips. The tip package will be there, or you can hot bet them, place your money behind them, and you're away. So, Mick, without any further ado, let's go talk to Charene.
G'day, Charene. Thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Thank you very much for having me. That's my pleasure to talk with you. And also, I hope to share more about the Hong Kong racing information to you. Thank you.
No worries. Great to have you on. Look, we have some fantastic racing ahead on Sunday night. The Hong Kong international races, which I'm sure not just you and your fellow countrymen, but many punters in Australia are very keen to hear what you've got to say, and very keen to see some races go ahead. Moving quickly to Sunday, track setup. Any ideas how the track will set up, rail position, rating, weather, and potentially how the track will play?
Yes, and now the Sha Tin track is in a really good condition. And because on the last meeting at Sha Tin, that would be 5th of December, there was a special fixture arrangement, and there were 6 all-weather races, only 1 turf over the straight course, and the remaining 3 were on the round turf course. Under this special arrangement, the turf track could be protected in the best condition. Also, since the weather has been cool and quite dry recently in Hong Kong, on Sunday it would be around 22 degrees Celsius with humidity of 65%, and so the weather is quite dry recently. So there is also enough watering in order to keep the track good, not too firm, and the ground would be in a good condition on Sunday with good weather. So for the horses that would love the good or firm grounds would be favorable. Some European runners, maybe for example like Max Wingney, may not be suitable for over such a firm ground. However, I just talked to the jockey Kelvin Manning earlier in this morning, and he said that the ground is not a concern. And also on Sunday at Sha Tin, the A course would be used. It is the widest one and usually be used on some big days with some group races. The home straight would be around 430 meters at Sha Tin, the turf circuit, and there is quite a fair track with the least bias. So actually it would be quite fair for this track, and I'm quite looking forward to the cast on Sunday.
So there you go, punters. You heard it there first. We're looking at a fair track, so speed and tempo will probably determine the chances of those back markers, and everyone will get their chance, no doubt, with plenty of big prize money ahead. Charene, we see a great mixture of racing in Hong Kong, from the all-weather tracks through to the turf tracks. The big Group 1s are on the turf tracks on Sunday. Anything different you're looking for those runners that maybe from synthetic to turf, maybe not just this weekend, but potentially all year round for the Aussie punters that's looking for an edge there?
Yeah, sure. I would love to share as many information to you as possible. Maybe I would say for the all-weather track in Hong Kong, it is easier to handle comparing with some sand or dirt surfaces in other countries. It is because there is not many kickbacks for the all-weather course in Hong Kong. However, it is always favorable for the front runners, or I would say especially for the leaders. And there are only three distances for the all-weather course in Hong Kong. 12,000, 1650, and 18,000. Among all these three distances, front runners are always favorable. And for the turf course, it is more fair than the all-weather surface. The horses staying in front or midfield or at the back would have a relatively equal chances. But I suggest that we should be aware of the barrier draw. For example, over the 2,000 meters race, there is a turn right after the gates open. So horses from the inside gates would be having a better chances. And besides, over the strict course that would be used in the over the 1,000 meters, it would take place over the strict course. So the horses from outside gates would be easier to travel since over the strict races at Sha Tin, the horses would be staying in the near side. So over the strict race, horses from outside gates would be having a better chances. So the riding tactics and the barrier draws are two important things that when we are studying the cars in Hong Kong, no matter at Sha Tin or Happy Valley, these are the important elements.
Love it, love it. So for the straight races, we're looking for something probably drawn out wide, and from the 2,000 meters start, something drawn inside. Sha Tin, Charene, that is awesome. Awesome insights for the Sha Tin course there. Can you give us, give the punters two of your best bets, early plays for Sunday?
Yeah, sure. Because there will be a barrier draw ceremony on Thursday morning and at Hong Kong time, 11 a.m. I think it would be 2 p.m. in your time, Michael. But yes, I still have some horses that I like. Maybe for the Group 1 Hong Kong Mile, the defending champion as well as our horse of the year, Golden 60, is having a really, really good chance because last time out he showed a strong turn of foot to win in a very slow pace. And in the Hong Kong Mile on Sunday, I expected that the pace will be very slow again. But Golden 60 already proved himself strong enough to overcome it. So no matter the draw is, I believe this 6-year-old Golden 60 can win again. And maybe for another race, I would pick the Group 1 Hong Kong Sprint. Wellington, trained by Richard Gibson, is quite an interesting runner here. He will be ridden by Alexis Badal. Actually, this horse had some setback earlier in this season, like in December. However, he recovered well under the good care of the trainers and the stable staff. Wellington is the last year's Chairman Sprint Prize winner, so he definitely has the class to win another Group 1 on the International Day. So I also saw his barrier trial on last Friday at Sha Tin. He hits the line strongly when clear in the straight. So second up on Sunday for the season, he's very likely to win. So maybe so far I have two horses that I like that will be Golden 60 in the Hong Kong Mile and Wellington in the Hong Kong Sprint.
There you go, punters. Two best bets, early plays from Charene. Now, if you want to check out Charene's two best bets after the barrier draw, they'll be out Sunday morning, Australian time, and very, very early Hong Kong time for you, Charene. They'll be out around 9 o'clock, guys. So if you want to catch those, please do. Charene's full set of tips will also be available as well. So if you want to get the inside word, get involved there. Charene, thank you so much for your time, and
my
best
pleasure.
of luck on Sunday.
Yeah, good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps up our final show of Tipster in 2021, Mick. Just closing out now, of course, we've got your mixed moral. So before we say our goodbyes, what have we got at Randwick on Saturday?
It's Randwick, race 4, number 4, Herman Hesse. Hesse. He plays for Parramatta Eels. Also, I'm pretty sure. Also a German-Swiss poet as well. So, and a fantastic galloper.
Did you just Google that?
Yeah, straight to Google. I had no idea how to even pronounce it. Probably got that wrong as well. But can tell you, we'll relish. Win. Yeah, we'll win. We'll relish the 2400. Off its last start, drops I think 6 kilos. Kieran McAvoy aboard. And its last start rating, it did run second, but last start rating will have it well and truly on top. I know Quinny just chimed in when I sent it out on Twitter and he said, you've missed the price. It was $3.60.
There we go.
I think we got $2.80. It's now $2.70. It'll be $2.20 by the time we get off the show.
There we go.
It'll be winning. You beauty. Now, punters, I've got a challenge for you. Friday night, we're heading to the races. Damo, myself, a couple of the boys will be out there. I can't tell you who it is, but if you come see us, you'll work out. You'll know who they are. A couple of famous faces out there with us. First person to come up to Damo and tell him that he can't tip a greasy sausage off a plate, I'm going to buy you a schooner. Second person that does it, I'm going to buy you 2 schooners. And the third person that does it, I'm going to buy you 3 schooners. I'm stopping at 3. There you go. There's your challenge.
Okay, there we go. Well, that'd be true. It'd be right. That's why you don't see my face there. That's for sure. There we
Good
go.
challenge anyway. I thought you'd like that.
I might even know. Might even know what a greasy sausage on a plate is at that point of the night. But anyhow, but yeah, hey, that's going to be a great night. We're looking forward to that out at Canterbury on Friday. Hey, what's left to do other than wish all our viewers, whether and our visitors on the site, a very, very safe and happy Christmas and a great New Year. We're going to return just in time for Magic Millions.
Absolutely.
And we'll have special guests on, tips and insights before you punt. So remember to subscribe to the show because you'll get a notification when the show drops. And look, this one's one as well. Like the Hong Kong meeting this weekend, you'll want to make sure that you've got those Magic Million tips always from tipsters who are performing on the site. So
and tipster of the year as well. You'll be able to find out who the tipster of the year
Tipster
was.
of the year, of
Magic
course.
Millions. We'll have a couple of winners for you up there.
Exactly.
Probably might even have a chat to Body. Might get him on. He usually has a couple of 2-year-olds heading up there. Give you steer into a few more winners. Last time we had him on, I think
he went
about 6
really well.
winners. So we'll kick off the year on a strong note. And as long as those paychecks keep coming in, we'll keep turning up.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Hey, all the best, punters, and may the betting gods shine on you over the break and always. We'll see you in 2022. All the best.
All the best.